Paper Crafters, it's Erica here from Me to You Paper Crafts, and today I want to show you how to make these cute little boxes. I was following a video on YouTube to make this little box. It uses the envelope punch board, which is a different kind of a box than the envelope boxes that we were making to put a set of cards in. This is just a cute little box for a little treat or a little gift. And while I was learning how to make this box, which opens up like that, I was not following the directions very well, and I ended up with a little box that looks like this. Same size, but this one opens from the top, and the top actually looks like a little envelope. So I'm going to show you how to make this little box today. So you're going to start off with a piece of cardstock that is 6 by 6. This happens to be Blue Lagoon, and I'm going to use this coordinating paper here. This is from the Moonlight Designer Series paper stack that's in the current catalog. So what you do is you're going to take your 6 by 6 piece of cardstock, and the first thing you're going to do is you're going to line it up at 1.5 on your measurement line here. So at 1.5. And you're going to punch it, of course, and you're going to score. Same as for making envelopes. Then you're going to move it over all the way to 4 inches, and you're going to punch and you're going to score. And now, as with making envelopes, you're going to be continuously rotating the paper until all 4 sides are punched and scored. And again, you don't have to use the measurement anymore, you just have to follow these score lines. So I'm turning it around. I'm lining up this score line with this little pointy thing. It's actually called the score guide. So line that up with the score guide. Punch and score. Move it over to the other line. Punch and score. Turn it around. Line it up. Punch and score. And punch and score, and then there's one more side to do. I am just loving this envelope punch board. You know, it's probably one of the most fascinating tools I've ever used in paper crafting, because you can do so much with it, and there's always new projects coming out every day. Alright, so you end up with this, with all of your score lines on it, and you'll notice that if you look, there's kind of like a cross in the middle. And one side, these 2 sides, are more narrow than these 2 sides. Alright? So these 2 wider sides, they become the actual front of your box. Okay? Alright. So the next thing we're going to do, of course, is remember that when you score, you end up with a mountain and a valley. When it's indented, this is the valley, and when it's raised, that's the mountain. And I always like to fold up on the mountain side. It works better with the paper fibers. So you're just going to go and burnish all of your score lines all the way. Alright, so now we're going to cut up some of the sides so that you can assemble the box. So it's really important to orient this the right way. As I was saying before, you've got a wider side and a narrow side. So you want to make sure that you've got the wider side vertical to you, and then you're going to cut up these sides just to that first score line. And as with all box building, I always like to notch out this edge, so I just cut up and make a V back up into that little corner and pull it out. Okay, so you're going to do that on all of these score lines. another notch, turn it around, do the same thing on the other side. Really doesn't matter how big the notch is, but making a notch is really important because it really helps when you're assembling boxes. Okay, so it should end up looking like that. All right. So now I find it a lot easier to put on my designer series paper before I actually assemble the box. So that's what we're going to do now. All right, so I went off camera and I cut out my designer series paper. So I have two pieces that are cut at 2 inches by 1.5 inches, and these are for the front and the back of the box. And then I cut out 2 other pieces that are 1.5 by 1.5, and these are going to go on the sides like that. So let's stick those down. I'm just going to use, you can use Tombow glue for this, or you can use your tape runner. I'm just going to use tape runner because it's a little, well, if I could not stick it to my paper, it would be a lot quicker to do the video. But let's put these in here. There's one. And we'll do one here. And let's do the last one. Okay, that's a lot easier doing it, putting your designer series paper on before you assemble the box. All right, now it's time to assemble the box. So basically, you're basically going to be lifting these sides up and putting them into the middle like that, and then you're going to be gluing up these 2 sides like that. And before I forget, before I start assembling the box, I really do like the rounded edge on the box. So you want to take these 4 corners, and again you can use your envelope punch board because on the back there is this corner rounder on the back. But make sure you get it in there really well before you punch. So make sure it's nice and nothing in there. No, make sure it's cleared out. There's nothing in there, and then just get it snugly in and punch. So it makes a nice little round. You could have done this step a lot earlier in the project before you actually cut up the sides, cut up the score lines. Might have been a little bit easier to do it then, but in some cases it's not too late to do it later. All right, so here we go again. So remember the wide side, this is sort of like what I'm considering the front of my box. So these sides are going to come up like that. So what you want to do is we're going to put some glue on here. Now I ran out of Tombow, which I love, so I just found this old Elmer's glue in my craft room. So I really do prefer Tombow glue, but this will do in a pinch. So you want to just lift up the sides and make sure you check the side of the box, make sure that's at a good right angle. You might have to hold that down for a couple of seconds to get that to stick. And I do think that the Tombow glue sticks a little bit quicker than this Elmer's glue, but in a pinch, make do. So lift up the other side, and again, make sure you've got a nice square corner. And hold that in there for a few seconds. Okay, that should be good. And then you're going to do the same on the back. a little bit more difficult to get your glue on there, but we'll manage. So there you go, nice square corners. And then the other side. Nice square corner. So the box is really coming together nicely now. All right, there we go. So then these become your inside flaps, and then this becomes your top that looks like an envelope. See? So you can really decorate the top any way you like. I just put this little flower on here. I punched this out with the Petite Petals punch, and I sponged around the edges, and then I had some dahlias left over from a previous catalog that I put in the middle, or you could actually put a pearl or a rhinestone, whatever you like. And then to hold down the opening, you're just going to put a little Velcro on there. And so there you go. There's your cute little box. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you need to contact me with any questions, all the information is on my blog, From Me to You Papercrafts.blogspot.ca. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.